A warning given to ITV News by Britain's Chief Rabbi that the fear among the Jewish community of anti-Semitic attacks is at its worst level since 1945. Sir Ephraim Mirvis was speaking to us after attending an emotional meeting at a synagogue in Leeds, where people voiced their anxieties. Latest figures from the Met Police in London provide a snapshot of the recent spike in anti-Semitic hate crimes. Anti-Semitic hate crimes in London have increased by 1,350% since the Hamas atrocities which started the Gaza conflict. The Met recorded 218 anti-Semitic offences between the 1st and 18th of October this year. Last year, in the same period, there were just 15. Our UK editor, Paul Brand, accompanied the Chief Rabbi and filmed in Jewish communities where people rarely speak out.
At this synagogue, they sing for the protection of Israel. But they need it here too, in Leeds. Many in this community want to keep quiet. But to witness their vulnerability, we didn't need them to say a thing. That's why tonight reassurance has arrived via a visit from the Chief Rabbi. I'm Paul Brand from ITV News. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. This is one of several synagogues he's touring across the country to answer the many worried questions, not about scripture, but safety.
Do you think that as Jewish youth we should be going outside and walking out in public wearing kippot and things like that?
We must stand up and be proud. We're Jewish, we're proud of it, we're proud of Israel, and the world needs to know.
But the fear we saw on faces here is due to soaring anti-Semitism since the outbreak of war.
There are two sides in this conflict, and they are the side of good and the side of evil.
British Jews are being targeted by some who see the conflict differently.
The British Jewish community is in pain. There is a lot of anxiety, and seeing so many thousands of people on the streets openly supporting the Hamas terrorists certainly has caused a lot of anxiety within our community.
Have you ever known fear quite like this in your time as Chief Rabbi in the UK?
The fear that's running through the Jewish community now, I think we haven't had since 1945. And we have gone through many challenges since that time, and certainly it is palpable right now.
The protests the Chief Rabbi mentioned were organised to show support for Palestinians. The motivations of a minority among them are disputed. But the anxiety is felt among every Jewish generation we met.
Well, I used to walk home with my friends, and I've been affected because my parents have now just picking me up and then dropping me off at school, and I'm not doing that anymore because you never know what could happen.
I have to hide my Jewishness, which is not good. All the time I'd express it, but I have to keep it hidden because no one knows what's going to happen to me.
There's a strong anti-Semitic rise here in the UK, and we felt it massively in Israel. And a lot of my friends were saying, why are you going to England? It's worse over there than it is here.
Really, that's the perception.
Yeah, a lot of my friends were like, there's no way we're leaving Israel, we're staying in Israel.
Now tide's turning a little bit, and there's quite a lot of anti-Semitism, which makes me very anxious and worried.
Sadly, those fears are founded from Leeds to London. We were given rare access to the Haredi community in Stamford Hill, where security guards stand outside schools because even children are targeted like this.
There was a car driving past right over here outside my restaurant, and was shouting "Free Palestine" at little young kids walking home from school. This happened at 4:45 in the afternoon. There have been quite a few incidents recently. Kids have been actually attacked, they've been slapped in the face, they're pushed off the bikes.
It happens in their neighbourhood and outside of it. A group of children were harassed last week at a theme park.
There were a group of 3 people, older people, who came over to them and forced them, and I was there, to say "Free Palestine." And I was like looking at them seriously, is this what you're going to do? Is this what you're asking us to do? Something which was supposed to be a very uplifting day for them, an exciting day for them, sadly turned out to be one of the most horrible days probably in their life.
But we met many in this community determined to get on with daily life. Jewish, British, and proud of their dual identities.
And Paul, hate crimes, including Islamic phobic attacks too, are on the rise. This is a disturbing picture.
Yeah, Gamal, it's many things, actually, and when you spend time with the Jewish community, as we have done over the past 48 hours, there's a real mix of emotions there. They feel real grief for what's happening in Israel, because, of course, Israel is so central to their faith and their identity, and they also feel great worry about where Britain's going, too. They see this rise in anti-Semitism, and they really worry about where it might lead. The Chief Rabbi had a couple of things that he thinks would help. Firstly, he's quite upset with some of the faith leaders who he described as showing deafening silence when it comes to the attacks by Hamas on Israel, and he also thinks there should be tougher action taken when it comes to anti-Semitism on streets in the UK. The police, though, quite frankly, are pretty overwhelmed at the moment. Anti-Semitism, as we heard earlier, is up by 1,350%. Islamophobia is up by 140%. And I think what's really incumbent upon all of us tonight at this time of great tension is to be able to hold two thoughts in our mind at once, which is that hostility against both communities, in fact any community, is absolutely abhorrent when they find themselves in the firing line.
Very concerning stuff. OK, Paul, thank you.